Hi, I'm Eric Dresselhuys, CEO of ESS. I'm here in Austin, Texas at ETS. So why do people build microgrids? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Increasingly, if you think of what's happening in the world of energy, we're trying to decarbonize the way that we produce energy. We're trying to make sure that we do that in a way that keeps or maybe improves even the reliability of our energy system. And all of that's happening in a world where we have more natural disasters, an aging infrastructure, and our reliance on energy is going up. So the idea of a microgrid is to take this big grid, the way you know it, and break it out into a small part where we have generation, the means of producing, storing electricity, the distribution of that electricity, and the control of the things that use electricity, all tied together on a localized basis. And microgrids can take any number of forms out in the world. You can have an embedded microgrid that could be in the middle of a city, like they've done in Chicago, where they've created a microgrid down in Brownsville within the context of the bigger utility grid. Or you can have a microgrid that's out in an area that doesn't have electricity at all. Some microgrids are done for commercial purposes, some are done for residential purposes. But microgrids are a more cost-effective way to ensure that we have the right electricity system closer to the people that are using the electricity. So how do you build a microgrid? Well, it depends a little bit on where your starting point is, but a few things are pretty common. The first is you need something that generates electricity. And these days, that probably means solar or wind as the things that are going to pop to mind for the generation of electricity. But because we want that energy system to be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter the weather or the circumstances, more often than not, you're going to pair that with energy storage. And we'll come back to that. Then you have a software control system, a network and communication system that's managing that distribution of energy. How do the electrons flow down the wire? Where do they have to go and when? And in some cases can even go downstream to the devices that are using electricity to determine when those should be turned on or turned off. And of course you need a software package that's going to manage and control all of that on a real-time basis. That's pretty different than the way we built the big grid, which were very few, typically very large generation assets, and a vast and complicated series of transmission and distribution lines. And the way we made that work, frankly, was by overwhelming the system. We'd overbuild capacity in generation to ensure that we could hit demand at any given moment. We'd overbuild the transmission and distribution networks to ensure that we always had extra capacity downstream. And then we just let the end devices kick on and demand power whenever they wanted. So microgrids can be a much more precise, much more conserving form of how to generate, distribute, and manage the consumption of electricity. So let's go back to the idea of batteries. And that's something that's changing the ability and the dynamics of microgrids to be implemented, not just here in the United States, but really all over the world. If you think about it, in our best case scenario, you might get 12 hours of sunshine for solar. Wind can blow all day long or not at all, so it's really intermittent. And so the challenge that everybody trying to build grids and microgrids have faced is, how do I create a magic time machine to take the electricity when it's produced and match that up with when the energy needs to be consumed? And energy storage, specifically long duration energy storage, is the key to making that happen. Once you have long duration energy storage, you can take all that excess electricity that's generated from the wind when it's blowing and you don't need to use the energy, or solar. You can overbuild solar panels and store the excess and create an energy system that's 24 hours a day through the night. And you didn't used to be able to do that or do that cost effectively. The storage solutions that have been available have lots of limitations. First off, they tend to be relatively short duration, 2 or 4 hours, and that's not enough time to make a 24/7 system. But the second problem is a lot of microgrids are going into areas where safety and environmental concerns are really top of mind. And some of the battery technologies that have existed in the past have been prone to fires or have had toxicity issues, and nobody wants to put a microgrid in say a central city neighborhood knowing that there could be a fire or there could be a toxic spill that comes out of that battery. So what we've produced is what's called an iron flow battery. It's iron, salt, and water as its key ingredients. And when you take that and you combine it with renewables, you can create a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week energy system that's clean, it's reliable, it's safe, it's built locally, so there's no reliance on rare earth minerals or other exotic inputs that come from places far away and maybe people who don't like us, and build a sustainable, reliable, 20-year microgrid system to meet people's energy needs in a zero carbon way.